Alright, so what do you do with the elements of art if you're trying to intentionally use elements of art? Maybe you want to make a work of art that's focusing on line, and maybe you want it to be abstract. And you just want to play with maybe line thickness, line shape. Okay, so you've got some lines on your paper, and now let's add an element of art. So let's say we want to add texture. No, that's another element. Both of those are elements. Say you want to add a principle of design, like balance. Balance is the visual arrangement, the weight, where the weight sits, which way should you look at the art, where's the heaviness or the lightness. And so maybe you want to add something to balance. So you got this line here and you want to add something to balance that, maybe kind of in this space. So say you have like a axis of symmetry right here, and there's going to be something that's approximately reflecting that. It's not going to be the same, but it's going to be compensating for the weight. So you have the line going this way, so maybe you put another line kind of in the similar space, maybe right about here, going in the same direction, and that sort of balances that. Not exactly, but approximately. What else can we do? We've got this little swooning motion here, so maybe there's another axis of symmetry here. And so maybe we'll take a similar type of shape and put it right there, and there's balance between that and that. So those two are balanced, those two are balanced. And this is not the only way to approach balance. This is just one idea. Okay, so now let's balance that over here. So maybe it would be where do we want it? Maybe we'll go something like, put a similar, not exactly, but a similar shape to this one here. So we've got line, and we're building some balance into this abstract work of art using line. Where else can we add some interesting balance? This is kind of a cool shape. I think it is. So maybe I want to do something with this, and do I want to go with that and do it, or do I want to? I'll make kind of like an echo. Of that. And so you see, it's not exact. This is approximate, but there's some aspects of these shapes and these lines. They're not shapes unless they're enclosed technically, but I guess they're open shapes is what they are. They're lines that turn into open shapes. So, what else? Maybe I want to just stick with line and balance for now. I'm going to build up the balance, build up the line, and still try to keep this interesting. So maybe up here, I'll take this little shape, and maybe I'll do another one. I don't want to continue the line, I want to make a new one. right there. And then I'll put something similar down here. And it'll kind of have a curve. So that curve's going like that. So this curve's going to kind of come up like that. Just a hint of reflection. You don't have to think about it like this, but if you do, then you can kind of become more metacognitively aware of what's going on. Metacognitive means you're thinking about thinking. You're kind of analyzing the process a little bit. A lot of artists do this without even thinking. Kind of started to look like fingers. So let's put something similar. Not exactly the same, but similar. And those reflect. You got this shape here, kind of like a hook. I still haven't moved into really thinking about shape. I'm still more thinking about line. That's supposed to be sort of an echo of that. All right, so if we're taking line and balance and putting them into a work of art, and we want to add a second element of art and a second principles of design. The elements of art are line, shape, form, value, space, texture. I'm missing one. So value, texture, space. I'm thinking about what I want to add. The easy thing is shape. Value is also easy, but if I start focusing on value, that kind of changes the direction of the drawing a little bit. Form, is that the one? Yeah, I think form is the one I didn't mention. No, I did. Anyway, so I could start turning these lines into shapes and then into forms, and that would be a way to add a couple more elements of art. Unity and variety are principles of design that are related to balance sometimes. And right now, because I've been drawing some lines that are different but similar, I already have unity and variety in this drawing. So if I wanted to enhance that a little bit, I could accentuate some of the similarities and some of the differences. So let's do that. Well, we're going to go with unity and variety. So we want to start thinking about ways to bring the work of art more cohesive. And I mean, you could just stop right there and say that's a nice little statement. That's a simple, beautiful work of art. In fact, maybe for now, let's just do that. I'm going to turn the page. I'm going to say that one is on hold. And now I'm going to do something similar more quickly. I'm going to build in some of the reflection as I do it this time. I'm not overly thinking. Okay, so it's not the same, but it's got some of the ideas. So say that's our line experiment with a little bit of balance built in. Now say I want to go increase the unity and the variety. What could I do? Well, as far as unity goes, I've already got these lines that are similar. But what if I wanted to just make some lines that are very different? I'm going to pause this for a second.